Hey everybody, welcome back to the Hardcore Fab channel. Today's video, I think we're just gonna hang out in the shop and BS a little bit. So I've promised you guys that I will have a video on Wednesday, and today is Wednesday, and I don't have enough to actually put together like a build video for you guys, at least nothing that would be very interesting to watch. But I think we can just kind of hang out here in the shop a little bit. We'll talk about some of the different things that are happening here in the shop, some stuff to expect in the future. I got some cool things that I bought recently that I want to show you guys. Give you guys an update in the office because we've changed the colors a couple times since you guys seen it last. And what else? I don't know. We'll come up with some other stuff to talk about. So if you want to hang out, BS for a little bit, then stick around. If you're looking for a build video, I apologize. This is not going to be the video for you. I don't apologize. It is what it is. I just don't have enough stuff for you guys on this video. So come back next time if you're looking for a build video. But we will have some info, like I said, on the C50 and some of the other stuff around the shop. So yeah, let's hang out. Let's BS a little bit. So on the C50 build, not a lot has been happening. I haven't been working on it at all. This has all been Connor. So Connor's got the wheel wells out of it. That was a big undertaking because they ended up having to get cut out. None of the bolts would come out of it. So that kind of sucked, but he got those out so that we could access some of the stuff, like to be able to fix the rust back there. And they were hitting on the mounts for the body and everything too every time we lifted it up and down, so that was a pain. So yeah, he's done that. He's done a few other little things on there. He's got like the headers on. Yeah, you guys probably can't see them. Anyways, the headers are on. He put a fuel pump on. We've got a fuel line now kind of figured out, so we can go from the stock tank that's in the truck here right down to where the fuel line was at on the chassis, and then right up here to the fuel pump. So we're really close to the point where we could go ahead and fire this thing back up other than the radiator. And now after we've kind of looked at it a little bit, the original radiator for the P30 chassis, the camper chassis, is actually going to work. So I think we're going to go ahead and try to put that back in here and kind of see where we end up with that in here. But I haven't got a chance to actually do that yet, so that'll probably happen here in the next few days or something like that, because I would really like to try to get this thing to start and fire back up, and I need to actually get it out of the way. So the main reason why I need to get this out of the way is because we do have a couple of new projects that we're going to be starting here in the channel, or on the channel, pretty soon. I don't want to give you guys any info on it yet, so I'll just leave it at that. We're just got a couple new projects that we're going to be working on. Both of these are customer projects that we're going to be also working on at the same time while we're working on this, so don't worry, this is not just getting pushed off to the side and never seen again, because we do have an actual date on this one as far as when we have to have it done. So we will be still working on it, just won't be able to work on it full-time non-stop because, let's face it, I need to make some money, right, to be able to even just pay for this thing. I mean, we've got a $5,000 budget on this build, so not a huge number in the big scheme of things on the, as far as like building cars. I mean, lots of people have way more budgets than that to have to worry about and deal with, but still got to come up with the money to pay for it somehow or another, which means I actually have to work. And then we also have, bills to pay and all that kind of stuff. So it is pretty cool though that we're going to have a couple of really neat builds coming up that are going to be customer projects that we'll be able to share with you guys here on the channel. And I think you guys are going to really get into these too. So I'm excited to show them to you guys. I can't wait. Part of the reason why I don't have much done on this week is, besides working on the office and some other things, we've also gotten those other projects in. I need to make some room for those. I need to get some stuff moved around and everything to where we can actually work on them and all that stuff. So yeah, just not a lot of time to be able to put into this. I do think I may have found an option for a condenser in here so that we can have our AC still. I don't have anything yet to be able to put inside the cab, so I still need to kind of figure that stuff out and see what we're going to end up with as far as the AC goes. But I'm pretty sure that the original radiator is going to go right in. It's actually the exact same width as the one that was in here originally, so it'll even drop right into the rubbers. So pretty easy to just drop that one back in and go with it. It's also got the tranny lines and the oil cooler line spots on there with the right threads and everything. So don't have to go digging and diving for a bunch of stuff to be able to make that work. So that's pretty good. Also, I probably should have led with this to begin with. I think I have a name for the truck. So hold on a second, let me grab something. I'll show you guys what we got for a name. So oddly enough, we've had this sitting around here for a little while. So when we tore the camper apart, there was a lockout tag in the camper from, I assume, when they were putting the camper together. I don't know where else it would come from. It was kind of stuffed in some stuff behind the walls and whatnot. And it says motorhome TV department. So, yeah. Anyways, this has just been kind of laying around the shop, and this was in the camper for the original chassis. And it was just kind of fun because it was a lockout, tag out, you know, little badge thing. And I put the key for the truck on there. First of all, I won't lose the key because this is a big giant thing. And then just kind of the, you know, fun factor of having it on that tag. I thought that was kind of neat. Well, it's sitting around here looking at it, and the guy's name that was on there originally, Hank Sanford. So I'm thinking that maybe we'll call the truck Hank in honor of old Hank here. So I don't know if anybody knows Hank. If you do know Hank and he happens to still be around, that'd be pretty awesome to get in touch with him and find out, you know, what this is all about, how long ago it was. And I doubt he remembers losing it in this camper, but you never know. So if this was from 1984, though, the camper is a 1981 camper. And if this was in there from manufacturing, you know, I think that's 1980 probably. So 40 whatever years ago. And I'm going to say Hank looks like he's probably, you know, somewhere in the 50s, you know, type say year range right there in that picture. So it's very possible that Hank might not be with us anymore, but it still would be kind of fun if Hank happened to still be out there. If anybody happens to know of him, hit me up. That'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, I think we're going to try to call the truck Hank. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? It'd be the first thing you guys can leave a comment on in the video and let me know what you think about it. I think it'd be kind of cool. Call it Hank, and I'm going to just leave the key right here on this lockout tag out, stuck in the ignition. So that'd be kind of fun. The other thing with the name and with the truck is everybody was wanting to come up with red names and orange names and stuff because of the color, which is understandable, of course, but I don't think I can leave this thing this color. The more that I look at it here in the shop, it's got to go. It's not going to happen. So color is definitely going to change on the truck. I'm not 100% sure exactly the direction. I've got some ideas, but I need to play around with it and actually see if I can pull the effect off that I want to pull off. But yeah, so check this out. So we got C50, orangish color. I've got Hookers and Blow, obviously orangish color. And then over here behind Hookers and Blow, I've got an old truck that I want to put together at some point that I think would be fun to do like some of the drag and drive stuff. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with Roadkill, but Roadkill has a muscle truck on there, and it's a square body. I don't remember what year it is, probably mid 80s or whatever, square body. Maybe it's older. Anyways, square body Chevy pickup. And it's just pieced together with a bunch of different, you know, colored parts and pieces on it. And for some reason or another, I like that. I like that idea a lot. And I think that's what I'm going to do with this truck right here. Is kind of that kind of vibe going on there. So the only thing I might change is the rear fenders. I don't really like the gray primer, so I might black those out a little bit. But I'll get you over here where you can see a little bit better. The front fenders are turquoise, whatever, which clashes really bad with the orange, but for some reason I kind of like it. So anyways, I might black out the fenders on the back, black out the hood because the hood is just primered color, and leave the fenders and leave the orange. I think it might be all right. The cab is actually in really, really good shape, so leaving the orange is perfectly fine with me. So I've already got that I'm planning on keeping orange. Don't want to mess with the color. Obviously, Hookers and Blow is not getting any paint on it. That's just not happening. And then I also have the vet cart, and some of you know about the vet cart and some of you do not. But the vet cart back here is orange, and that's a lot of effort to have to paint those bars. I already did that once, and I don't really want to do it again. I also don't know, speaking of the vet cart, what to do with this thing anymore. I drive it a little bit here and there every once in a while, but I've been honest with you, I got to be careful when I drive the thing because I turn into like a little 17-year-old punk kid that wants to blow the corners at every corner sideways and blast the tires off at every stop sign, and I really shouldn't be driving that way. It's, not right, but even more importantly, it can get me in a lot of trouble. So I tend to have red and blue lights behind me when I'm in that thing, and that's not good. So anyways, yeah, I don't know. We don't have a track around here, really, anything to go run the darn thing. I need to find some place to actually take it and go have some fun with it. It, too, would be kind of fun to do some of the drag and drive stuff. Kind of considered that a little bit. Throw a turbo on there. It's got the LS in it, 400 turbo tranny already, so should actually get down the drag strip pretty good. I've never actually taken it down the strip to see what it would do, but it blows the tires off really, really nice. But that would be pretty fun to do in the future. Is that something you guys would like to see? Me playing around with that some? Let me know in the comments below. Another thing you can have a conversation with me about. Curious to know what you guys' thoughts are on that. Also, on Hookers and Blow, check this thing out. I'm just sitting here. So the chassis for the C50 has got huge tires on it. Big giant 19.5 rubber, all that kind of stuff. You guys can see that. I think they measure about 33 inches tall. But look at them in comparison to the ones on Hookers and Blow. That's not even close. Let me flip this around and let you look at it. So yeah, we're not even in the same ballpark here. And then look how wide this thing is here, the super single on the back versus the tires over there. That's crazy. So I get people ask me all the time to blow the tires off on the back of Hookers and Blow, and I don't think most people realize how much rotating mass one of those big tires are back there, or even when it had the duals on it, which are practically the same thing. The duals are actually heavier than those. I think they're like 250 pounds a piece or something like that for tires. So what ends up happening is it'll leave a black mark, but it only just leaves the black mark. It won't smoke the tires off. It just pushes the truck. So it ends up leaving black marks on the back and also leaves black marks on the front because the front tires just right on down the road. There's not enough weight up there in the front to be able to stop what's hooking back here in the back. It just doesn't happen. So it's kind of lame, really, to be honest with you, which sucks. I should do something about that to try to make that better, but I don't know. I've just kind of pushed it offside and forgot about it, but one of these days we'll probably go ahead and try to put some gears in this thing and maybe turn the pulley around and do some stuff. But for right now, it runs, it drives. I can drive it down the road and go to places. There's a couple shows coming up here in the near future that are, like 30 minutes away or an hour away or something. I can jump in it and just drive down the road and go to the show. So I hate to change that too awful much because, let's face it, it's not a drag truck in any way, shape, or form. It's all just kind of about, the look and feel of it more than anything. So I don't know. It'd be kind of cool, though, to have it do a big, giant smoke show, and it'd be really cool to have a lot more cam in it than what's in it right now and make it kind of just barely idle around when I'm driving into places and stuff. Right now, it's pretty tame. It only has like a stage 2 turbo cam in it, turbo cam in it. Stage 2 is not much. So anyways. Also, does anybody need a brake lathe? I bought this thing here a while back. I'll go up here and show you. So yeah, I bought this thing a while back from a friend of mine that was really needing to get it out of his shop. He's got a smaller garage and he was wanting to have the space. Well, I had a little bit more space, but I hadn't brought as much stuff over here yet. So now it's sitting here in my shop, and I don't know, I'm probably going to use it maybe once or twice a year, if that. So I'm kind of thinking that I don't need it in my shop either. So if anybody's in the area looking for a brake lathe, hit me up. I'd probably let you get in on this one for what I got in it, and that's pretty cheap. So yeah. So also, speaking of buying stuff, I went to an auction over the weekend. We took a day off of work from working on this place and actually doing work, and went and did something kind of fun. Went to an auction, and it was a chicken auction, actually, believe it or not, in Yoder with the Amish community area there. But they had a bunch of other stuff there that was just kind of random junk off in the back. So I ended up picking up some junk, like some of the stuff over here on the table. I haven't even looked at it yet. I've been just sitting here for a couple of days, and I need to check it out. So we'll check some of that stuff out. But one of the things I got was some of this belting, and it's probably off of like some kind of something you'd bolt the little scoops to for like a grain elevator or something. I don't know exactly for sure what it is, but I didn't have any, and it was only $1, so I thought, well, that might be handy for something in the future. I don't know what yet. So I got that, and these military boxes over here are really cool. Let's go check those out. So here's a fun box. I got a whole big giant box full of cut-off wheels. That's pretty cool. Got these military boxes that are some kind of like storage things, and they did have them open, so I see that a bunch of little drawers, but I haven't went through the drawers yet to see what all's in there. This thing, I've done snagged some gaskets out of this box because this box had some big block header gaskets in it, and that's the only reason why I bought this whole thing. I don't think any of these guns are any good. Jobs Smart, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, they might be good. I don't know if they're bad, but I don't need them. I've got a pretty decent gun, so. But for $1 for the whole thing, I mean, how could I not buy that? And it had my gaskets in there. Well, that's worth $1 right there. Just does a little bit of sandpaper. So that's pretty cool. Another one of these boxes, it's also got the same stuff going on in there with it. And this one's really, really heavy, so I'm really curious to see what all's in there. This tray here just had a bunch of different odds and end pins in it, but also $1. And I had this brush in there, so I thought, well, that's worth $1 right there, surely. And then this one, I don't know what all's in here. Just some wire wheels and some stones and whatnot. Again, only $1. You know, it's kind of hard not to buy this stuff at only $1. So the little military storage box things, I actually had to pay up on those to get those, but I thought they were pretty darn cool. They've got to be from, you know, World War II type era. I mean, they've got solid rivets in it and got the military green and stuff, so I'm guessing it was probably something along the lines of that. If you guys know more about it, feel free to comment down below and fill me in. I don't know a lot about it at all. I haven't done any research or anything on them yet, but I just thought they was really, really cool. And if they've got bolts and nuts in them that I'll be able to use, then it's definitely kind of a no-brainer at that point. So I went ahead and picked them up. That one's empty. Let me set you guys up on a tripod and we'll go through here and look at it real quick and just see what's in here real fast. All right, let's see what all we got. We got random nuts and bolts, or just random screws. Not much. A bunch more little random machine screws and whatnot. Bolts, more bolts. Not sure what these are. Mohawk brand, came from Atchison, Kansas. That's no idea what it is. Anybody know? Let me know. Bolts, roofing nails. Can't get that one open, but I don't think there's anything in it. No, I don't think so. Empty. Bolts. Some kind of little roller off some kind of track of some sort. More More bolts, more bolts, more bolts. More bolts. More bolts. Little carriage bolts. A little bit of hardware we'll be able to use at some point, I'm sure. This one is missing one drawer, so that kind of sucks, but it's pretty cool. There's the old duct tape. It's the original army green with all the numbers on it and everything, so it's kind of neat. And this one's actually got all the little pieces of leather still on there too, where you can actually pull the darn things out. Got some neat little rings. More roofing nails. Nothing. More roofing nails mostly. Nothing. Some conduit clamps. Roofing nails. Roofing nails. Roofing nails. Some little staples. That's why this one's so heavy. It's all those nails and staples. Random bolts. A bunch of lug nuts with the shoulders on them. Those are kind of hard to find now. Those could be handy for something later. Bolts. Nuts. Those are lock nuts. Brass fittings. A bunch of little tiny machine screws with flatheads on them. L brackets. Some weird little bolts for something. Don't know. Anybody know? Let me know. Padlocks with the numbers on them to open them. There's a few of them in there. That's kind of cool. Nails. Bunch of little round-headed bolts with the flat slot on them. Some more, well, some kind of little drill. Some more randomness. Pin out of a door hinge, it looks like. Well, that was kind of a bust. I should have opened those up beforehand and shoved a couple $100 bills in there or something for you guys to find, but I'm not that way, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm pretty content with the boxes just by themselves. The boxes are way cool. I don't have any idea what they're worth or anything like that, and I know I'll end up using some of the stuff that's in there eventually, so it's a win-win for sure. Nothing else, these will look really cool in the office when we get the office done up there and put something in there to display or whatnot, or I might end up selling them or whatever, I don't know. Find a spot for them or do something. Don't know at this point. But the one thing that I did want to show you guys that I am also really excited about having, that Connor is not happy about having in the shop, but I am, is right behind you over here. So yeah, I ended up with an old original Mr. PacMan, or just PacMan machine. Not the Mrs. PacMan or whatever. This is like straight 1980s. 1980 is what it says on the thing here anyways, and up here and over all around it, so it's got to be like a 1980. So pretty cool. Everything all still works on it. It's free play, so you just hit the button and good to go. Now we're gonna have to listen to that, but Connor hates this thing because apparently when I plug it in, it makes some kind of little like weird humming noise or something that only quote unquote not old people can hear. So he's claiming that his young 18-year-old ears can hear something that my ears cannot, and he might be right, I don't know. But I don't hear anything, doesn't bother me. But he had it plugged in here or I had it plugged in here for just maybe like 20 minutes or so, and he was complaining that he had a headache already because of the noise that was coming off of it. Anyways, I think it's kind of awesome. It brings back a lot of good memories for me because these were everywhere when I was a kid, and I would love a chance to get a quarter and play one about every time that I could. And now we got one here that I can play for free. My mom was even here yesterday playing this thing, so that's pretty cool. And for those that were wondering, we did finally get a color that we were happy with in the office. Only took a couple more tries and a couple more gallons of paint, but we got there.
We did. I'm really happy with it. I think he is too.
I am. I'm really happy with it. It's looking pretty good. But we ran out of wood that Julie had already had all stained and finished out, so she's working on that some more. We already threw a couple 100 feet of wood up in there, and it doesn't even look like we did anything. Again, everything in this building is so big and massive that it just takes a lot to do it all. So take you guys up there and show you.
Never ending, always, forever.
Take you guys up there and I'll show you the office real quick.
Ta-da!
We have gray now.
After several other choices and playing around with it. Okay, I'm looking at what it looks like on the camera, and it looks better in person than it does on the camera. I'm going to say that. It's got a nice metallic sheen to it. In fact, it is a metallic paint. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of got a texture and a metallic. It looks cool.
So it's actually got two metallic colors now.
Yeah, the first one I didn't like. It was too light. And so then we did a darker shade on top of the light shade, so it actually gave it some depth, and I think it's cool.
Use one of those foam rollers that has like all the little textured holes and things on it to give it kind of a texture. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it or not.
I said it's not showing on the camera.
It's not showing at all. You can barely kind of see a little bit of, every once in a while.
Trust us. Wait, I'm not in the camera. Wait, there you go. Trust us, it looks better in person.
Anyways.
Of course, depending on your opinion of gray. And all those people said, just paint it gray. We did. We gave up.
It was my first choice. But it does look really good. Let's see if I can get you back here. You can see the wood and stuff.
And we almost
kind of see the wood that we're putting up and all that. It goes good with that, really good.
A lot of people said just do it white, but I had done enough off-white ceiling and that would have just made that look dingier, so we didn't want to just do the white. And this really pops. Yeah. It looks great.
We're gonna cover up that window over there with wood too, and your office window.
Yeah, my office window still needs to be.
My little office over here, where I get to live under the stairs like Harry Potter, because that's all that my wife would give me for an office.
Oh, come on, you have a man cave upstairs. Don't you think it, don't feel bad for it. Plus a shop and 6 floors. I do not feel bad for his little cubby under the stairs.
I only have 30,000 square feet. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, no, but the countertop right here, we got a cool countertop here from CCM. They hooked us up with that. And that was a pretty awesome piece right there. We're really happy with that. If you guys
are in Wichita, so yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in any counters or cabinets, hit them up because they do great work.
Yeah, CCM counters.
I think they'll go anywhere in Kansas pretty much and do installs and custom builds and all that. So yeah.
Turned out nice.
Anyways,
that's maybe, hopefully, soon there'll be furniture in here, and then we can show it off even more.
Yeah, so our plan is to eventually have, like, in this extra little space that we've got up here in the front, this area all through here. That's the bathroom, by the way, which is not done yet. One of the main reasons why we're not moved into the shop. But yeah, up in this area, maybe we'll have some merch and stuff. I know a bunch of you guys have asked for merch, and we don't really have much for merch right now to really speak of, but this will maybe give us an opportunity to have a place to put some merch and actually have some stuff on hand if somebody was to come into the shop and want to buy something, so that would be pretty cool. And Julie's also talking about maybe doing some, what do you call it, junk art type stuff.
Yeah, shabby chic stuff and unique pieces, one-off builds and stuff.
Stuff that she can do over on her channel on that Rust Life. So
I have that Rust Life. Anybody who's been following that, I appreciate it. I have not done anything over there in forever because we've been busy. But really soon I should start doing more. I've got a little bit more detail about what we've been doing in here and in the building and some other fun DIY type projects are coming over at the Rust Life soon.
So be looking for that. That'd be cool. And I don't know. I guess we've got much more left to talk about, do we?
I don't know what all you've been talking about.
Oh, show them those stickers.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you guys, we're not one that go and solicit for stuff all too often. And we got some stuff in the mail from Offensive Beard Company, and he sent us some built not bought stickers with this square body Chevy thing. Very cool. We really like them. He said, "No, you don't even have to mention me or anything. I'm just doing it because I like you guys, and we're gonna mention you anyway because we like you too."
And that was pretty awesome for him just to send us that right out of the blue. So yeah.
Right. So appreciate it. Thank you very much. Fun gifts in the mail.
And do we want to talk about the banner giveaway?
Oh yeah. So yeah, Sean Thompson is the one who won the banner last week in our Rat Rod magazine banner giveaway. And I guess we really suck in giveaways because we can't even give our banner away to you guys. No, he requested that we give it to Rat Rod Bob. And as from a fan to Rat Rod Bob, and I think that's a lot of fun and kind of cool.
It is, that's cool.
That's and I think he actually said that that was going to be an anonymous gift from him to Rat Rod Bob, but too late.
Well, everybody's seen that he won it.
Everybody sees it, and then when Rat Rod Bob opens it, he's gonna know. So anyway, because Rat Rod Bob subscribes to this channel as well and watches our videos, which. Fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you don't know Rat Rod Bob Builds on YouTube is his YouTube channel.
If you don't know Rat Rod Bob Builds yet, where have you been?
Right.
You're not really into rat rods, are you? If you have not seen that channel before.
If you're not watching Rat Rod Bob Builds. But anyway, Rat Rod Bob Builds is going to end up with the Rat Rod magazine banner, which I'm sure he will display in his shop. So
yeah,
we appreciate it.
So that's pretty cool.
Fun. Anyway.
I don't know what else to talk to you guys about, but if you guys got any questions or any comments or anything you want to leave to us in the comments below, that'd be awesome. And maybe when we do another one of these videos in the future where we're just kind of hanging out and rambling, we can answer questions.
Also, if you would like to see us ever do lives, comment that too, because we don't usually do them, but maybe.
She's trying to talk me into doing more lives, is where that's going.
So anyway, if you'd like to see us ramble live and really see how bad it gets, comment that too. And hey, if you've got friends that don't subscribe to our channel, tell them to subscribe, because you guys are awesome, and I'm pretty sure any friends of yours would be friends of ours, and we would love to meet them and love to see them. So.
Well, I guess with that, about all we got for
to subscribe and ask others to subscribe.
Promote our channel.
I'll do it. I ain't ashamed.
Anyways, I guess that's about all we got on today's video for you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us here on Wednesday nights, and I guess we'll see you guys again next Wednesday night.
Bye now.
Bye.